Happy Halloween from Audio Porn. This is Brad. Today we're going to be talking about Greg Rollie Band. They came up at the Ramona Mainstage a couple weeks ago. You guys got the video on my page. Check it out. It's a little jam band from back in the hippie days. The old band of Santana. Everybody knows Santana. I mean, Jesus. Big sellout as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, these guys, they're players. I mean, straight up, they're players. They've been doing it a long time. They better be players. They're all professional. They know what they're doing. And they're good musicians. And pretty much that's where I'll leave it, because that's where it kind of ended. I've never been into jam bands, this little world beat thing they got going on. But let me tell you, now I know why these hippies are dropping a bunch of acid, because just to make it through one of them concerts back then, they had to be all dosed out to enjoy themselves, because Jesus, talk about one gear all the way through the entire show. No tempo change, no intensity at all, no up, no down, no peak, no valley, nothing. It's just, I felt like I was sitting there driving in a car staring at, to Las Vegas, staring at the same yellow line all the way, straight, not one curve, not one corner, nothing. Didn't accelerate, didn't stop to let me piss, didn't do anything. It's just boring stuff, man, boring stuff. And, they rehashed the same Santana riff. Every song was just a rehash of that riff. Every last song. Every last one of them. They come up, this is a new song. And I'm thinking, okay, here. Finally they're going to throw me for a loop here. Something new, something fresh. This guitarist's going to be able to get out of his Santana clone mode. And lo and behold, it's just all the same stuff. I swear to God, I felt like I was listening to the same song for 2 hours. The same song. And like I said, they're players. But that stuff's not for me. Even their fans, I mean, you watch the videos, and from the beginning there's nobody up there dancing, and slowly but surely towards the end of the show, as the drinks got into them, all of a sudden they're up there dancing. I mean, these hippies, they need to be fucked up in order to be able to have a good time and enjoy these bands they had to listen to back then. And speaking of back then, talk about a blast from the past. They bring in this sound guy. I mean, he's taking way too much acid. He's older than dirt. And he's his ex-hippie guy, and he's got this serious ADD problem. Beginning on the night during the setup, he's got me, doing this task onto this task before I can even get the other task done. Onto the next task, asked me to get this task, and after a while, I just stopped listening to him, because I wasn't gonna let this guy put me on this ADD pattern all night. It would have taken forever. So I just did what I had to do. I knew what needed to be done, and just stopped listening to him. And then halfway through the show, he starts getting this low-end, feedback situation, basically caused by 32 mics. Okay, this guy had 32 microphones on that small stage. I mean, any sound engineer that knows anything knows that you're asking for trouble with 32 microphones up there. The guy's got 3 mics on a Leslie. He's got an overhead on a Tabales that are all individually mic'd anyway. I mean, he thought it was a recording studio or something. It's not. It's a live show. You got things you're going to have to deal with. And lo and behold, he started getting some feedback around 80, 100 hertz. And, I knew where it was coming from. It was coming from the floor tom. And instead of addressing it at that point, the guy puts a low cut on the entire system. So I got to spend the rest of the show listening to this thin mix with no bottom end, no warmth at all. And I was just sitting there looking at him cross-eyed like, you got to be kidding me. You're not going to do this to me all night. I mean, all you got to do, if it's the floor tom, and put a gate on it. Oh no, man! Your gate is so unnatural. I gotta capture like the true form of the sound, man. You know what? It's 2010. It's not 1968. Put a gate on it. Solve the problem. Move on, but don't destroy the entire mix over one instrument you're having a problem with. I could have got the same thing done with half the mics and sounded just as clean. The only benefit out of it, I got a pretty good recording off the board, because but like I said, it was like a recording studio up there. But, the other issues, were, you got the bass player sitting there. He's sitting there turning back. You'll notice it. Wonder why he can't hear himself. He's got an 810 cabinet with 1,200 watts attached to it, laying on its side. He's 3 feet away from it. He wants to know, I can't hear myself. You can't hear yourself because you got the speaker you're standing 3 feet away from, shooting right below your legs. I mean, the whole crowd's getting punched right in the face with it, but you can't hear anything. Bass players, you got to stand at least 6 feet away from your rig to hear the rig. And it's got to be elevated. It can't be sitting on the floor. The guitarist is having the same problem. He's got his rig 3 feet away on the floor, no elevation. He's wondering why he can't hear himself. He turns himself up. And then we're sitting here listening to this guitar heavy mix all night because, you know, he's just the focal point. I mean, you close your eyes, you're looking right at him because he's so loud at this point, you know, after 3 songs. So then I had to deal with that the rest of the night. So, you know, all in all, it's a good band, just not into jam bands. Not into them at all. And the other issues were just, you know, sound related. But enjoy the recordings if you're a hippie, and if you're not, laugh at them, because I sure did. Rock out.